Now, the National Capital Region, it has turned into a gas chamber. The air quality in many parts of Delhi-NCR is in the hazardous category. A persistent smoky haze blanketing that region for the third consecutive day now. In light of this rising pollution level that we are seeing, all government, all private primary schools in Delhi, they are going to remain closed for 2 days, and that started today. Moreover, in light of the deteriorating air quality, the Commission for Air Quality Management, CAQM, has invoked the third stage of the Graded Response Action Plan, which is Grap, G-R-A-P. The Delhi Metro Rail Corporation announcing 20 additional metro trips as well, which start today. And this, of course, in a bid to encourage more and more people to use public transport. The situation is not any better, even in Noida. A thick blanket of smog there. It has gripped that entire area, very low visibility, and people are facing breathing issues. Let's break down the causes and the effects, and let's understand where we can peg responsibility and demand accountability besides the action already being taken by the authorities. And for that, the CEO and Executive Director of MapmyIndia, Rohan Verma, is joining us. He's made some strong comments on social media, and he's joined by Vivek Chattopadhyay, the Program Manager for the Air Pollution Control Unit at the Center for Science and Environment. Gentlemen, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to ET Now. It's great to have you with us, but let's understand this problem. It's easy to say that this is an annual problem. The rubble burning happens in Punjab, Delhi suffers, but maybe the problem is that we have been casual about this to some extent. The basic right to breathe clean air, that is unassailable, and yet the government and the authorities seem to be doing precious little, which is evident from how we've reached the severe plus status on the air quality index. So what do you put it down to, Rohan Verma?
Having me. See, there must be many reasons, but we have to solve them one by one. The one thing that I heard from the Delhi government and Punjab government that they will come into power and fix this issue because they will have a double engine sarkar. They will give machines in Punjab so that farmers don't burn the stubble. So on that specific issue, because obviously stubble burning does impact weather and air quality. On that specific issue, I want to ask, where are those machines? And using technology, can you show us where they are right now? Are they working? Have they been working? That's why I suggested that, show it live GPS movement, show live video movement, so that, and people in the government are using this technology for so many things, like road construction monitoring, solid waste management movement monitoring, etc. It's very easy to do and show the transparency and accountability rather than just talk words and shift the blame. I urge them to use this technology to, of course, deliver on their promises, use the technology to show us clearly, and even citizens can participate now. They can use, for example, anything, but including a free solution like a Mappls app, to mark through a camera, photo and video, geo-stamped and time-stamped, so that they can call out the stubble burning, etc. And then we can name and shame. So that's one part of the solution that can solve. And believe me, one by one, we can solve the problem. It just, blame game doesn't solve the issue. Let's fix this. Let's hold the people who claimed they will fix it accountable. Let them deliver. Then we'll move on to the next target. At least it will not be as terrible for you and me and everyone. And
important, you say, to monitor the problem, and technology allows you to do that. And we should see it coming. Considering it's an annual problem, we should see this coming and monitoring it and taking the rational steps to do so. Vivek Chattopadhyay, how easy is it? And is it essentially the farm fires, the stubble burning? What are the reasons you're ascribing to this rising levels of toxicity in the air that we breathe in the national capital?
See, the sources of pollution and their contribution varies day to day. And now the decisions about system provides the information also. So what we can see that it is now 25 to 35% contribution today. It is very high compared to other days. Generally, it remains within 25%. But rest of the 70% is actually other sources, industries, vehicles, residential burning, our neighboring satellite cities, or the neighboring cities, I would say. So this entire region is actually has several sources, common sources also, and some unique sources in particular hotspots also. We have to identify the problem in the sense, and government has done several studies. I think earlier the data was a problem. Now data being generated, but we are not what we are failing in implementation of that implementation of the measures, and the measures why they are not being implemented because the monitoring is very weak. I think it has to be taken up to the level of the district magistrate, making them accountable nodal officers, and the monitoring should happen on like the way we
So
deal
you're
with
saying that
law
we
and
have
order.
the data, Vivek, but we are not able
Yes.
to implement plans when the alarm signals go off. Is that it?
Yeah, the alarm. Yeah, we are giving the alarm signals, but are the alarm signals are being taken seriously to control the pollution? For example, are we taking the tough measures to identify and close down the polluting units of industries? Are we closing down certain power plants which are very old and polluting? Are we doing enough to identify those vehicles which are polluting the air significantly? Are we improving our infrastructure for public transportation, walking and cycling so that the dependency on automobiles can reduce because the city is registering more than 1,000 vehicles per day. So it is unsustainable. And Delhi NCR needs very high, good connectivity, seamless connectivity of public transportation modes. Government is investing huge amount of money on building flyovers, infrastructure, road, tunnels, underpasses,
Yes.
and it is
And those could
exactly
be some of
more
the
cars.
causes of pollution. Rohan, in terms of getting people to rally around this problem, get the system to resolve this kind of persistence, what moves have you particularly seen? And more importantly, what would you like to see that will bring about a solution before this does more harm than it already has?
Yeah, see, improvement happens step by step. I mean, it's boon boon se sagar bhare, or so that's what I'm saying. Instead of thinking and boiling the ocean that there are so many issues, and then who's going to do what, we know clearly specific action by a specific authority who claims that they have the control over fixing it and that they have done something. Let's make sure that the stubble burning in Punjab is not happening. The harvesters or the machine seeder balers, etc., are given, they're working. And let's see that. I'm sure that 25 to 30% reduction will save so many lives. And then we'll move on to the other issue. I've talked to so many people, and this is not my I'm not a politician. I'm not a political person. I'm a technologist, an entrepreneur, a business person, and an individual
But
with
Rohan, the
young
point
kids,
that is being
with
made
families.
over here is that, I mean, the data is available. It's not about the lack of use of technology, as Vivek's contention, that we have it all. It's about the implementation that we're not able to do enough of.
And the data is there that the air is bad. We can all breathe it. But the data is not there that the claim that the machines were given. So, because that was touted as the big answer to stubble farming and that burning, and that we will do it. Why is that not working? Where are they? Have they been working? Show us that. The data is there that the air is not clean, but the data is not there and made available to everybody that on ground things are changing using the technology that exists. That's the problem. And once that happens, once you see that behavior change implemented on the ground, on the vehicle side, if EVs are used, for example, that will reduce tailpipe emissions. But here, if the machines are used to remove the stubble before the farmers burn it, then that is 1 ton stubble removed is somebody's life saved. It's as simple as that. But there is no data. There is no map on which live and historically I can see this. And not just me, but everybody. And that technology exists, but I've not seen or heard the government in Delhi or Punjab, which is the same government,
Vivek, is
implement
this a
this and show
problem
people
like what is
like
being
that.
pointed out? Do you think this is a problem that is unique to India because it's not like other developing countries like China haven't dealt with it and are still dealing with it? How are they doing it differently from what we are trying to do here? And very quickly, because we are running out of time.
I think we have to have a strategy like they have authoritarian regimes, so it becomes easier for them to close down units and other things. But the strategy, every country prepares a regional plan and identifies all the sources which are contributing and prepares a plan which is unique for that city. For example, dependency on public transport, how this can be improved. Do we need BRT? Do we need mass rapid transit systems? What kind of infrastructure improvement is needed? Shall we prepare low emission zones where only electric vehicles can operate and walking and cycling can be promoted? Shall we go for industries which are green or like allowable industries in that region? What is the carrying capacity of the system that can be like provided? For example, we are saying that we are setting
Yeah.
up industries,
But
but the
Vivek, these
power
are
supply is
long-term
poor.
problems. These are issues that we've had over a period of time that we don't seem to kind of address. And what Rohan is pointing out, that we need to fix accountability. Otherwise, we will not be able to get to the problem where it emerges. And that's something that is required. No one is taking away from the fact that we have to develop as an economy. These things are going to happen, but we have to address what we can on a step-by-step level. We will keep carrying on this discussion because it's hazardous fumes that are coming out of Delhi, and it's creating so many health issues over there. Thanks very much for joining us with your perspective, both Rohan and Vivek. A pleasure having you with us this evening.